You are now watching the 2023 season of Farming with Duffy Ag.
Welcome back to the channel. What are you doing? He's ready to go. So we are actually up here in Brian's new apartment. Looking out over the back. Got the beefers, got all sorts of stuff. So we've been here previously. We picked up the parts chopper from out back. We've chopped here every year for the last, this will be our 4th year, I believe. And well, I woke up at 5 to rain. Not as much rain as what's going on back home, so that's part of why it worked out perfect. I could come this way because we weren't doing any harvesting back home. So Skidder is loaded on the trailer and it's gonna be a wet day. It's supposed to stop raining, but once you're in the mud, you're in the mud. So appreciate you guys watching along. We are off. There you go. You're not getting in there. We gotta go get the skidder.
It's like, come on, go anywhere.
So he took the big can off and put the smaller can on, which I said that's probably better. I can easier to fill it. Skidder's on. It's back to raining, even though the weatherman said it wasn't gonna rain. So I know somebody's gonna say, oh, you're just playing in the mud, wrecking fields. What are we supposed to do? Wait till next week? Wait till the week after? Not get any feed off for his cows? So having that, we've had it before. We buried that big truck, just pulled it out. So we're just gonna be more cautious, and we're gonna get going. Here you go. Come on. Hey, come on. Did he get it? Come on. Come on. Well, we're gonna get right after it. Drop the low boy, take the skidder off. It's just how it's gonna be today. Get the chopper going and get chopping. First actual full load leaving, getting dragged out by the skidder. Everything's gonna get pulled. All the windows are dirty, I'm sorry. We're fogging up. Yanko's breathing heavy as anything. So I got the heat on, but it ain't really doing much. Having trouble with the head. A lot of trouble with the head not feeding because the corn is wet. It is dry corn, but it's wet as far as moisture on it. I sped up the feeder housing, hoping that would go. I'm gonna have to speed up the gearbox on the actual head, maybe feed it a little quicker. Hopefully that makes it work. Pretty much all fall has been like this, where it's just a muddy mess. And a necessity is a good pair of boots. I'd like to thank Heisey for today's partnership of today's video. And honestly, all year they've been keeping me warm and dry in wet, muddy situations. So this fall isn't gonna get dry anytime soon. And we've been battling quite a bit of gnarly, nasty situations. So appreciate Heisey. Go check out their Apollo. They're actually a pair of hunting boots, but they've worked awesome for muck boots. Duffy 15 gets you 15% off. And they got a 100-year lifetime warranty, which they've lasted very well for me. And I'll admit, we're pretty rough on some things. And the mud is pretty rough on day-to-day work, but keeping your feet warm and dry, that is successful. So appreciate Heisey, and everybody go check them out. We're gonna have a real slow day at this rate, so if the head keeps acting up, we're gonna have a really bad day. I can't blame the head, the corn, it's just the perfect combination to make a headache. That's really what it is. As I've said before, if we don't go now, what do? Wait longer and stuff gets even worse? Oh, right, we should have done it earlier. Just to tell you guys, they got 11 inches of rain in 24 hours one day. Yeah. We're not Not making much progress, but we are making progress. So load it up. It's mostly the mud. The head's getting a little bit better. It's definitely the dry ears, and they're wet. They're binding up, wrapping. So I'm sure some scrapers. Kemper has a great video as far as what to check on these heads. Granted, if you guys remember, just got the head pretty much. It ran great last fall, honestly. But my biggest thing is it's binding up with the dry leaves that are now wet. So I know that's an oxymoron and pretty much there, but yeah. He was pulling trucks down and around through that hayfield, well, his hayfield next door, but he's just getting them to the end. We got enough room, they turn around and go back up to the other end. So Brian's running a skidder. Just slick. I'm sure with floater tires we could go places, but then again, these guys, floater tires around here, it's not like, not farm country. We'll throw that out there. You really don't get floater tires till you get in more farm areas. So I had floaters on the white truck, and I can't think of many other people out in eastern Massachusetts that have any floater tires. They usually leave the trucks on the road or whatnot. But here's where we're at. In the first year I did chop for Brian, he's got a small dump wagon, and yeah, that didn't work very well because it was full way too quick. But the sun is starting to come out a little bit. I'm hoping that helps with some of these stalks. But like right there, see that one side bound up? Well, I don't know if you guys can see nothing. Yank was biting at the... But if we keep an eye on those, hopefully keep those cleaner, and it should feed a lot more. Now you guys can watch Yanko. He is the star of the show, I know. And yes, this does squeak. I don't know how it actually comes off. I've never messed with it, so it's just gonna squeak. We'll figure it out at some point. It's squeaked since I bought it. As far as the knob, that. So I cannot push this machine as fast as I'd like to. See, it's binding up over there. I can see the corns grabbing on it, which isn't the end of the world. We just gotta keep backing that out, and then it feeds back through. So the head could be better, and the conditions could be better, but honestly, at the end of the day, we're going. And I wish we farmed in a perfect world where everything was perfect, but we don't. It's fighting me now that I started filming for you guys. But yeah, see, there's a big glob over there, and I have been getting out and cleaning that. It's so rainy that everybody took today off. Every crew that I know isn't running, and a lot of people are very excited, well, happy about that, because most people haven't had a day off since corn silage started. So there's a lot of people that are 20-some days in a row, 12, 15-hour days. There is a difference between what you get paid for and what you have to put in to make that work. So when somebody says they work a 12-hour day, that doesn't include, come on baby, that doesn't include the 2 hours it took them to get there, get back, time that they weren't punched in, everything else like that. It takes a lot to go through harvest planning. It takes a lot to farm no matter what. So I gotta load the front of the truck. I got no more room in the back. I don't think you can see me. Yeah, so these are Brian's trucks. He does logging, so chipping, stuff like that. Clearly he owns a skidder. And then, yeah, I got some corn on the ground. Don't worry about that stuff. We're getting off. Does chipping, all sorts of stuff like that. Does septic work. I'm missing some things. So he's got some beef cows. His father used to milk cows back in the day. And, yeah. To keep up with our action here, so we're stopping for lunch. Oh, animal control. Brian does have his sweeper down here, and the kids are sweeping away the road as we go along. Oh, sounds like we got an air leak, but yeah, we are definitely further along than I figured we would. What time is it? 1 o'clock. We're gonna eat some lunch. It's a good crew to work with. So that's a big reason why I'm back here, because they're great to be with. You want to jump out and get some lunch? I think we're having pizza. Some pizza, and we're back at it. Once we get down, so usually I just have this field, and we chopped some sweet corn last year, if you guys remember. But he actually cleared some land, and we're gonna get right after that. He put some corn into it. It's very wet. So, well, we're closer. Well, we're doing a lot better now. Still a little bit of binding issue because of the dry leaves, but overall, head's feeding a lot better. Ground's a little bit better. Some trucks have been able to roll without getting towed. And pushing along. I don't know if his crop got hit with blight. We were trying to figure that out. He planted this long, almost a month after I planted mine. And granted, out here it was a corn stalk. Out here they get some, they get better heat. But at the end of the day, as you see, it's a lot browner than mine is. I think there's still some good moisture in it. Not everything's dented on the ears, but at the same point, maybe not. Oh, there we go. See, that's our issue. I grabbed it weird. It through pretty good. We've just find some slick spots, but once they get this chopped off, we got the little corner here and like 5 passes down there, and this field is wrapped up. So we're in a rhythm. Oh, great. It is actually raining again. Oh my God. Okay. What could go wrong? You having a good day? Yeah. He has a lot of fun here. You have a lot of fun here. We're headed to get the last little bit right here, and then this field's done, which is a good feeling. And usually that's when I end my day here. Actually, we chopped some sweet corn last year, but we weren't in the mud. We were in drought. Brian's got the rest of that, another field that we're gonna go mess with. So I'll chop this last little bit off, get folded up, skidders get loaded up, and we'll head on to the next one. All done. On to the next one. Pulled pretty much every single truck through. Yeah, that thing's pretty handy. And we're off. That gentleman there was walking up the street. He stopped and he said, "Ain't it too wet? That stuff's gonna catch on fire." I said, "No, we're not making dry hay." I said, I don't know where I'm going. We're going this way. I take it Brian's backing back up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That would have been bad. This truck, I'm supposed to be following this truck. I don't know where the field actually is. They did a good job keeping the road clean today. Sweeper on the skid steers behind me. They're gonna finish that up, then they'll get moved to the next spot that we're at. Keep in mind where we are. Currently there's a lot more people than where we farm out in New York. And yeah, we do try to keep the road clean and whatnot, but out here there's a lot more traffic on the roads, so all part of battle in the mud. Last year we went up in there, chopped all the sweet corn that was already picked off. There's quite a bit of apples right around here. So, but this year I don't think they're actually done picking yet. Since it was so wet this spring, they planted late. Well, you can see all the apples on the ground. So I take it picking apples is done. I don't know. I don't pick apples. Alrighty, up the road a little bit. He says it's like 9 acres, but it probably didn't grow that he knows it didn't grow that well. It's the first year after they clear cut it. And we're gonna see how wet it is. So they actually clear cut this. You can see all the rocks that they pulled out. And then they put corn into it. So they spent a long time getting it ready, but as you see, yields aren't there, but that's usually the case when you take something that was woods, turn it back into productive farmland. Because out here, everything at some point was farmed, either pasture or stuff like that. It's crazy how many farms were out in this area back 100, 200 years ago. He'll release that down. You ever get hit by that?
No. That's why it's cool.
We had our incident the other day of loading the chopper on. A Skidder's even sketchier, by the way. There you go. Yeah. They're meant for that. So so they finished up and literally got the last stump out and just went in and planted corn. So as I was talking to Brian, I said, probably needs a ton of lime. But once that gets done, probably be pretty good. So we're gonna chop it off, and hopefully next year's better, and hopefully they don't get all the rain that they did. They got way more rain than we did. And we're wrapped up here. So this was pretty creative. Brian's got some work to do here, but I'm sure next year it's gonna be much, much better as far as yields and where the soil's at. So it was a starting point. You guys can't see much. Really haven't filmed much because I've been watching for rocks and sticks and things like that. Oh, but alrighty, we're gonna get this back. We're done. He's gonna load the skidder, and down the road we go. Well, we're parked up. They're cleaning trucks up. They're parking at things. Quite the crew here. And the bunk man's finishing up the bunk. So I think he's got a 950. I forget what it actually is. If it's a 950 or 980. I think it's a 950. It's a 950 cat. But yeah, solid day for all things considered. We'll walk up here and just check it out. Last year was a drought year. I see he's got a free range going on here. Oh, bunk's looking pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see much. Not the best we've ever done, but I guess tomorrow morning I'll show you before we get out of here. Got corn wrapped up for Brian, as we saw. The head had some issues when it was sprinkling wet. Once it stopped sprinkling, it actually ran very good. I am excited for the content to come as far as we're getting done with corn silage, start transitioning into getting things ready for my own harvest. I know a bunch of people have already made the comment that my corn's not going to be ready till after Thanksgiving, stuff like that. It is what it is, honestly. If we can go haul some manure, we can combine some other corn, we can chop some other corn. It is what it is. I'm not that worried at that point. So I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to my own harvest. First harvest that I can say really is 100% my own, which is exciting. The weather is changing, so we got a lot to do in a short period of time. Today is actually, what is today? Sunday. And it's the first day that I really haven't had any work to do. We weren't moving, we weren't chopping, we weren't doing anything. So I can work on my own stuff. So you guys are getting caught up on some editing, and Carhartts are still on pre-order as of to the 21st. So I appreciate everybody in the Carhartt list. It is Carhartt weather. I got a Lewis Farms shirt on right now, so shout out to the boys at Lewis Farms. But alrighty, tomorrow I guess we'll see if we can get back to our own property, and the chopper needs some things, but nothing too crazy, especially for sitting for almost a year. So very excited how it ran. The head will get some work this winter. We'll push through fall harvest, and things will be good. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.